Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. If you watch my videos regularly, you must know that I bought a new computer from bintangpc.com. I chose the Intel Core i5-10600K Asus Prime Z490p motherboard, 16GB of Corsair 3000MHz memory and an Antec HCG 750 power supply. And all this is fitted inside the Antec NX230 cabinet. I have transferred my CPU cooler and graphics card, the RX 570, from my old computer to my new computer, and I have installed both Windows 10 and macOS Catalina on separate SSDs. So in this video, we shall see how well the computer performs in synthetic benchmarks and some games. So without wasting any more time, let us begin. Before I forget, wish you all a very happy new year ahead. We will kick things off with synthetic benchmarks, first on both Windows and macOS, and then follow it up with some games. Please note that for all the tests, I am running everything at stock settings. First up, we have Geekbench. The single core performance of the Core i5-10600K on Windows was 1312 and 1301 on macOS. That is roughly the same performance, but when it comes to multi-core on Windows, the 10600K scores 6817, while on macOS Catalina it scores 6656. That is roughly 2% less performance in macOS compared to Windows. The difference might be due to how macOS likes to control thermals compared to Windows, but I am not sure. Moving on to graphics prowess, I perform Geekbench OpenCL test on Windows and macOS, and then I perform Vulkan test on Windows 10 and Metal on macOS. For those of you who are not aware, Vulkan is a low-level graphics API for Windows, while Metal is the proprietary API used by macOS. When performing OpenCL benchmarks, the RX 570 scored 41,373 points on Windows and 41,063 points on macOS. Like our CPU tests, Windows scores 300 points or roughly 1% more, which is well within the margin of error. But when it comes to dedicated API, macOS scored 44,000 points on Metal, while Windows with Vulkan API scored just 38,000 points. That is a 15% boost on macOS. No wonder Final Cut heavily uses a GPU to do all the heavy lifting. Next up, we have Cinebench R23, and the story is somewhat similar to what we saw on Geekbench. The 10600K scored 1296 points on Windows, while 1254 points on macOS for single core, which is about 3% slower on macOS. However, the difference in multi-core performance is much closer, with the 10600K scoring 9330 points on Windows and 9204 points on macOS. The 10600K is still slower on macOS, but only about by 1%. Enough of synthetic benchmarks. Now let us move on to some games, shall we? First up, we have Valorant. Like most esport titles, Valorant runs well on almost all hardware. With everything set to high at 1080p, Valorant ran extremely well with max and average FPS well over 200 FPS. The minimum FPS was 182 with 1% lows of 139 FPS. In Doom Eternal, with Vulkan API and everything set to high at 1080p, the maximum FPS was 119 with an average FPS of 105. The low and 1% low were 86 and 80 FPS respectively. Coming to Fall Guys, something interesting was happening. At 1080p with detail set to high, I was locked at 144 FPS. So I thought, let us turn VSync off. But when I did, I was locked at 60 FPS. So there was something weird going on. Anyway, the max FPS in Fall Guys was 145 with an average FPS of 135. The low and 1% lows were 95 and 115 FPS respectively. PUBG Lite was another interesting case. The game is capped at 300 FPS, so the max FPS that I got was 300 with an average FPS of 258 with 1% lows of 75 FPS. However, the minimum FPS was just 1 FPS. I did the test multiple times and every time the minimum FPS was 1 FPS. However, the game ran just fine with no stutters whatsoever. The game was benchmarked at 1080p high details. Now as I was benchmarking, I thought why not benchmark some old games as well. So starting with Tomb Raider at 1080p ultra details, the max FPS was 169 with an average FPS of 120. Minimum and 1% lows were 64 and 65 FPS respectively. I really like sniper games, so I had to test Sniper Elite 4 out. It is a gorgeous looking game. At 1080p and high details, the maximum FPS that I got was 73 with an average FPS of 62. Minimum and 1% lows were 54 and 52 FPS respectively. The final game that I benchmarked was the racing simulator Dirt Rally. At 1080p and details set to Ultra, the maximum FPS was 115 with an average FPS of 94. The minimum FPS and 1% lows were 75 and 71 respectively. Overall, the computer has been very stable and the performance is very good, especially in Final Cut Pro. My export times have gone from hours to real time when I compared to my old computer. My only complaint would be the NX230 case. It is a bit cramped for my liking with virtually no thought given for 3.5-inch hard disks. So if you want to buy a similar computer or just about any computer within your budget, you can contact wintankpc.com. I will also leave a link to individual parts in the description box below. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please don't forget to like and please subscribe to my channel for more awesome tech videos. My name is Vaibhav and I will see you guys in my next video. And Happy New Year everyone.
4, 3, 2, 1, go. 80, care crest, turn square left, don't cut. 200 through depth. Turn hairpin right, don't cut. 350 over small crests. Caution, turn left 2 over crest, don't cut. Into turn square left. 400. Keep right. And left 6 long through dip. Caution right 5 long. Immediate turn square left, don't cut. And turn square left, don't cut. 80.